Hello and welcome to Theakston Lane, the home of Richmondshire RFC in Richmond, but no, we're not down the road from Twickenham. Delighted to be in Richmond, North Yorkshire, while we're going to be giving this local derby a bit of the big match treatment. As visitors Darlington make the exhausting 13-mile trip here this afternoon, it's all part of the RFU's Play Together, Stay Together campaign, and it's altogether brilliant to be here. Well, good afternoon to you. Now, it might be a European weekend, it might be a Women's Six Nations weekend, but of course, rugby exists from the top to the bottom, and all of those players that will be taking part in all those competitions this weekend will, of course, started at a club like this. Grassroots, community clubs, whatever you want to call them, they're a lifeline, a place to socialise, a place to meet new people, a place to learn, share experiences, grow in confidence, all of these sorts of things that basically improve the human experience on this green planet of ours. And, well, there are fewer, finer ways to do it than with an oval ball, 15 people of all different shapes and sizes, toiling in the same direction on the field, and then telling war stories in the bar afterwards. And I'm delighted to say that we're joined by Richmondshire's club chair, Nick Hunt. And Nick, is that what you want this rugby club to also be all about?
Absolutely. It's a family-run club, really, right from our juniors to our ladies' teams to our male teams. And it's about involving the whole community.
Now, we're going to be covering the game very shortly. Dowie Morris will be alongside us in commentary. But in terms of the story of this club, it's quite interesting because I think post-pandemic, the story was the same across a lot of grassroots clubs. It was wanting to hold on to players, but perhaps, you know, the example here was that it was one adult senior men's team, wasn't it, that you were getting out? A few more players favouring the opportunity to play socially. But then things seemed to grow from there when perhaps you least expect it. Yeah,
absolutely. We had been fielding two teams, and it just came to that sort of, we were losing people after the pandemic, and we got to a stage where we could only field the one team. And as a result of that, we had to make a decision as to whether we stayed within the RFU affiliated leagues or continued honouring our Tees Valley Social League ones. And we decided to make that move, which was a bold move, dropping out of the leagues, because it can often be really hard to get back in. It was the best decision, because I think if we'd left the team we had still competing in Durham and Northumberland 3, I don't think we'd have had many players left, because it was, you know, big scores every week sort of thing.
Yeah.
So we've slowly built our way back up, and we've had a really successful season. We've had 30 plus people want to play today. We've had to obviously limit it to just 25.
Because the cameras here. I mean, have they all been getting spray tans and haircuts?
Absolutely, yes, yeah, and it's been great for training. Everyone's been in training, so that's good as well.
We'll tell you the cameras are coming every week.
Yeah, absolutely. I've said I'll come down with a video camera most Tuesdays if it'll get people here.
Good.
But yeah, what's great and what's even better is next year we're actually joining back in an RFU affiliated league, and we're joining in Yorkshire 4. So that's going to be great for the club, and this is going to be a real good springboard of the day to make us drive on from
that. And it's really good to hear that. And I think I was quite interested to hear as well that you were sort of running taster sessions through the Autumn Internationals. So you had the games on in the bar, offering a chance for people to come down and try the game. Also trying to get in touch with older players, bring them back into the club, and it proved to be a real success.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been doing loads of things to try and bring players on. We've talked to junior parents to see whether they want to come back into rugby. We've hired a media team now that actually look after a lot of our posts and stuff, so they can get that message out there. But you're right, what we did during the Autumn Internationals is we didn't have a game one weekend, so for the males we had an early training session around 12 o'clock, invited it all over social media, invited people to come, turn up. Afterwards, there was the Autumn Internationals on, food, and obviously the bar was open. And then the next day, we did the same for the ladies, the Ravens team. And again, we did that, and it was a really good weekend. And I just think by putting those things out there, getting one or two people who turn up, that brings more people who aren't maybe, are on the fence about whether I should come and play. If they see their friend that's suddenly gone back to it, enjoying it, then they get involved. And we've gone from strength to strength from there.
Yeah, and we're focusing on a men's game today, but actually the growth of the ladies and the women's and girls side is really interesting as well, because I noticed that a couple of players, it's either their wives or their daughters are involved in other teams around the club, and actually maybe some of the guys that have fallen out of playing are now seeing their wives and their daughters picking up the boots and going, well, actually I should probably go and dust mine off and get back down there.
No, it is very true. I, as well as chair, I actually coach the ladies' teams, and it's quite interesting, those that have got wives playing for the Ravens and their husbands playing, because they have to alternate the training days in between them. But yes, you're right, there's a number of people who've come back to the club solely because their daughters or their sons have come to our junior section.
Yeah.
They've seen what a lovely atmosphere we have at Richmond, and we do have, even though we're grassroots, we do have great facilities, and on the back of that they've come back to start playing rugby, both male, female, and it's really helped us out, because numbers are the big important thing when you come to rugby.
Yeah, they certainly are. I want to know where I can get one of those blazers.
Well, yes, yeah. An Italian ice cream salesman sold me mine, so
yeah,
you never know.
Yeah, excellent, that's what I'm pleased to hear. Right, well, I'm pleased to say that we now have a short feature on one of your Richmondshire players, Ben Kilsby, whose, story may just chime with some of you out there who may have left the game and might be thinking about coming back into it, maybe getting down your local sports direct and buying yourself a pair of boots. Let's hear this story now.
Ready, up!
My name is Ben Kilsby. I'm 37 years of age. I'm a requirements manager for the civil service, 3 kids, wife, and I live near Richmond in North Yorkshire. So I initially started playing when I was about, I think, maybe 13, 14 in secondary school. Played for the school, played for Richmond, also played for the Richmond and Hamilton area, district area as well. Stopped playing when I was 16, 17, and obviously only recently kind of got back into it. So yeah, a good 20 years off the pitch. During that time off the pitch, I thought about returning to rugby a lot of times. It was mainly when there was big tournaments on, like the Six Nations and the Rugby World Cup, but it did cross my mind several times. The kind of camaraderie around it and having a laugh with your friends, and after a game, nowadays I can have a few beers. Back then it was just sitting in the change rooms talking about somebody taking somebody out, or all that kind of thing. So it was that element I missed of it the most. Got back involved with rugby in January 2022. My daughter plays for the local team, Richmondshire. She plays for their girls team, and the coach had put out a call for any dads to strap their boots back on and come down for a game. And when I moved back to the area, I did consider starting up again. I bought the boots, the shorts, everything, but found another reason not to do it. So when the call came through, my wife did encourage me. She knew I wanted to get back onto the pitch, so she encouraged me to go down and get back involved. Rugby helps from a social aspect massively. So I moved back to the area maybe four or 5 years ago now. And even though I grew up around here, a lot of my friends have moved away and all that kind of thing. So it was difficult to try and find somewhere where you could make friends and that kind of thing. Everybody I play with, and even everybody in the social element of it, everybody's brilliant. Everyone's down for a good laugh. Everyone's really supportive and friendly and really welcoming. So it's really helped create a social circle around myself at this kind of age.
Hey, I'm too sexy for camera.
Most of the highs since returning back to the game have probably been in the clubhouse after the match, to be honest with you, and I won't document too many of those on here. Even coming close to scoring my own try a few weeks ago, but dropping the ball on the try line like an idiot. It's the little moments like that you can have a laugh about in the changing rooms afterwards. My message to anybody considering getting back into the game would be to just do it. And I know that's easier said than done, but spending all those years wishing I was back on the pitch, getting back into playing, and then realising how much I enjoyed it and how much I'd missed it, made me regret not getting back onto the pitch earlier. Knowing the rugby community, so to speak, the other teams we play against, I'm pretty sure any club you go to would be welcoming of new and old players coming back into the game.
Wonderful to hear the story there of Ben Kilsby, and as you can see, our teams have come out to join us. We have Richmondshire in the huddle. They were actually the first ones out of the dressing room, ready to get down and get in the huddle. And Darlington, who are there in the black and white stripes, delighted to welcome Dowie Morris alongside us. Afternoon, Dowie, how are you?
Very good indeed, yes. Hopefully the rain will stay off. Conditions are almost perfect, no wind. Beautiful part of the country, and looking for a good game, because it's a bit of a rivalry, as you can imagine. They're about 13 miles apart, something like that, these two sides.
Now, you're a man, England, British and Irish Lions, Oral, Sale, but the grassroots game has never left your soul, has it?
No, Winnington Park is my club when I first moved up to the northwest, and it's my club now. Basically, it's we're in level 5, and I go down and help out as much as I can coaching. It's the hardest job I've ever done, and I sympathise with all these guys out here. But this is where it's about: is the grassroots, getting people to play the game and enjoy the game. Just got the referee, Griffin.
So there's the two teams just on screen. Just have a quick look at all of those due to turn out. We'll be doing our best to provide as much match ID as we possibly can. Certainly got a few facts and figures from the Richmondshire crew. And there's our referee coming into shot, Griffin.
Griffin. He's Welsh.
Did have a little chat to him before the game. I called him Sir. He said he's never been called Sir in his life before.
No. He said ref will do. That's it. We'll leave it at that.
I think he'd rather that than a lot of the other things he often gets thrown. But there we are. We are ready to go, and we certainly have a few hundred packed in. And that's what it's all about. Stay together, play together. This local derby at Theakston Lane. I think the referee's P has already gone. And it's Darlington who kicks off through Joe Bradley.
Yeah, just not what you want to do, really. Your first kick-off should have gone long. I think put a bit of pressure on Richmondshire. But Darlington not gone the 10, so they'll be the first scrum of the game. Normally we wait around. There's a nice bit of weight out there from both sides. So, again, parity would be good for Richmondshire. Scrum half, Thackeray. Nickname Thackers, surprise, surprise. Will be orchestrating the manoeuvres. And they're stacking this right-hand side. Maybe looking to put a bit of pressure onto the Darlington midfield.
I do love a nickname when it's just your shortened name, isn't it? The questionnaire that went out, put your nickname down. There's I think Scott, someone I'll find in a bit. It was just Scotty. It's like it's not a nickname. It's just your name. That.
Anyway, big scrum there from Darlington, but again, Richmondshire have hit back.
They're going to try and play then, trying to get up past the game line, and they certainly will. Decent initial carry. Thackeray gets in, 39 years of age, in the Royal Dragoon Guards. Played the game since he was 6 years old, but that was just a fumble from Jack Granger, and it is going to hand Darlington their first bit of possession. They've sneaked a few of the first teamers into this lineup, we understand, Darlington, so it'll be interesting to see how the occasion of the day has got the Richmondshire team up for this, and perhaps a few more of the skillful players from Darlington that will be up for this challenge this afternoon. But
We've lost the power down here.
Well, apologies if you have lost us for the past couple of minutes. We just had a minor power issue, but we are back with you. And of course, it is the home side who'll be pretty happy with that 3-point advantage from an early penalty, Dowie.
Absolutely, they've started up with home advantage, and that's actually raised a lot of, I suppose, aggression in the pack. I've got to say that Donovan Halvey, the big number 2, the big hooker from Richmondshire, has had some very impressive carries. He's just getting held up at the moment. The old choke tackle's coming to it, but as soon as he gets his knee on the floor, they have to release, which they've done. And now the pressure going from Hillman, who got that penalty, not his best kick.
Chance for Darlington to try and run it back. Ryan Thompson, though, getting swallowed up in the tackles.
We go to the left-hand side. We've still got a few problems here because we're in the darker depths of North Yorkshire. Some very good tackling.
Just joining us. Great to have your company as we are, well, on the rolling Yorkshire hills, it's fair to say.
Proper rugby, that's what we can say.
Absolutely.
Proper rugby.
Nick Heath here alongside Dowie Morris, and great moment for Darlington and Richmondshire to be in the spotlight here.
It's a friendly game, but nothing is friendly. It's a good rivalry. Again, scrum ball has been pretty good from both sides. That one just coming out. Griff, the referee, he's got his whistle out. He's told the lads that he will listen to me and he will do it. Stopping for a bit of blood, and it is that man I mentioned, Donovan Halvey. He's taken a bash to the snogging, I think.
Pathetic.
I love Gareth Hasty there. Hasty, tight head prop captain. What a fantastic surname for a tight head prop. Hasty by name, Hasty by, well, we'll see. He's just observing. They need that weight out there again because there's some big lads from the Darlington side. There's plenty on the benches. $500 supporters, hopefully, down to support the local team. It is the hub of the community. Great place to watch all the big games, the internationals. Warming up, some with pies, some with pints.
Looking to get back into this scrum then. Rhys Hillman with the 10 on the back, scorer of those 3 points. Now, going to try and break down the short side, but the eagerness to get up and make the tackle was decent from Darlington, and now it's a little bit of a flat ball for Hillman to take. He tried to get the leg drive going, but the defence was there, and that's good awareness from Ben Perkis McIndoe just to keep the ball alive and tip it on.
That's fantastic play, offloading the ball there. About 4 occasions, a great balance between backs and forwards.
Joining the line came Devon Cox. Now it's there to be played away. Looking to run at a bit more pace. That's what you want from your hooker in Donovan Halvey, the 23-year-old. Straight in. Another good carry. And crossing the gain line. Doesn't matter too much whether it's by metres or inches at the minute. Now then, up and under, designed to test. It is well taken. Good work from Alex Swart.
That's good play because they had a free ball. I think there's a code out there they just call hot potato. Tremendous offloading. Just concerned 10 minutes into the game, can they keep this pace up? That's the problem with social rugby, honest rugby. But there's smiles on the faces. Richmondshire have started superbly well, and you can see the talent that's out there. This time I'm going to introduce you to Josh Rudman, who's on my right here. He broke his leg, unfortunately. He's a hooker, playing in Stockton. So do you want to have a quick word with Josh?
Absolutely, Josh.
Good afternoon, everyone.
A good day for the club.
It is a massive day for the club, especially being so sort of small and local. It's a great day seeing so many people here. Yeah, it's fantastic. I think.
Who's been giving it the big spuds all week?
There's been a few of them. Porky was giving it pretty big before he dropped the ball, and I'm sure you saw in the VT. But
so give us it. So which one's Porky?
Porky's currently on the bench at the moment.
Okay.
I'd like to say they're resting him for a big performance when he comes off the bench. But
a bit of finisher Eddie Jones style.
Yeah, he will be the replacement hooker.
Excellent. And who do you think's got the most nervous ahead of this one?
I think both sides are pretty up for it. By the looks of the way they started, if there was any nerves, it definitely hasn't shown. So I'm pretty impressed. It's the quickest I've seen most of them move, I think. I mean, that's because the cameras are here. So
there we go. Well, as Dowie says, we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah, well, hopefully they can keep it up. So
excellent. Thank you, Josh, for your time. We'll no doubt check in with you again in a short while. Was an opportunity of the break into the 22, but we are now back with a penalty to Darlington.
Yeah, I think that's probably the first pen that Darlington have got. There's been some great movement of the ball by Richmondshire. Again, they do protect it well, they get over well, they ruck well. At the moment, it's just one side in it, but I'm sure with experience, and I say a few ringers in it, Darlington will come back, but we will see. Plenty of time to go.
Ben Perkis McIndoe just at the bottom of your picture there, who's he's sporting the Sebastian Chabal style locks.
He's good. He's good. Number 6. Yeah, he's getting about, making his presence felt into the fly halves face. Joe Bradley be cagey of what he's going to do, but again, it's shortened line out now for Darlington. Overthrown once again, and that wasn't straight. They've probably overtrained, that's what it is, these boys.
That'll be it.
These boys. I was talking to, as you were, Nick Hunter, the chairman. He's never seen so many people down on a Thursday training before this game. If only they'd come down all the time, and then you wouldn't have as much fun, though, would you? That's the thing.
That's it.
But it is great. I love communities like this, because I always say to people, get down the rugby club. So why do you go to the rugby club? Well, if I need a plumber, need a painter, need someone to do the garden, you know, everyone's down there. It's brilliant. Or they know somebody, you know.
Well, there's already been one decent take in the 22, and it's another one which will bring about the mark and the free kick. But actually, winger was offside and spotted it, because it's right near our commentary position, but it's also a good spot from referee.
Right in front. Ben Smithy was in front of the ball, but it is a ply there. You can see from Hillman is kicking the ball down in that right-hand corner. At the moment, Darlington have not made a mistake. They've quite easily taken that ball, diffused the bomb, I think, as we call it, as Stewart does for England so very often. Alex Stewart's been pretty good, number 14 left winger, doing that. And now, can Darlington get their arrows right? Can they get the darts right?
They've gone to the front, Darlington. Little cheeky one from Chris Darg, vice captain of the side. And away for Kimmy Bishop. Trying to send the big boys round the corner, but now is there going to be a chance for them to play a little bit more?
And that was, sorry Nick, but that was Perkis. They're just putting an absolute blinding tackle on Daryl King, who's probably the biggest or the heaviest player in the Darlington side, and that's how you tackle. You literally get low, you drive hard, and you put the big lad on his backside. Exactly what these youngsters are doing, enjoying the occasion, and why not? And another scrum.
It's going to be one of the more advantageous positions that Darlington have had in this opening quarter of an hour so far. Joe Bradley will be certainly eyeing up the options. He's got Rob Thorne and Peter Bainavanua to play with. In fact, they are going to break here, and they could have some numbers here. Bainavanua is on the outside, and he is going to get it here. Well, that's the game's opening try. Darlington cutting them apart with some of their big stars in midfield. Very, very decent score.
Yeah, after 15 minutes, the Fijian just, well, it was a catwalk really, some good handling skills. And again, big dent there from Rob Thorne through the middle, but used the big Fijian on his left-hand side, and that's the first try of the game. Obviously Darlington coming back, and that's how dangerous they can be. So Richmondshire need to look after this ball, good hands. It's just an easy walking, and trying to make it easier for the kicker. Convert the 2 points, make you 5 into 7. And Joe Bradley, we're tasked with that, but that's the danger man. We knew about him coming into the game, and obviously Richmondshire knew about him coming into the game. They need to close up in that midfield pretty quick.
Yeah, it was mainly the work of Rob Thorne, wasn't it, at 12, who looked for all the money like he might be going through, but draw the last line of defence, and then gave the pass. Just needed cantering in and finishing, and well, the conversion's good as well. So the visitors looking to upset the party.
Yeah, I think the thing is, don't kick the ball away. I mean, they had a good drive in the scrum. The problem was with driving so good is that all 8 forwards are in, and they didn't lift their head. The back row just got caught with putting all that weight through, and Darlington just actually picked it up from 8 and actually made some yards when the Richmondshire guys were concentrating and putting all the power through. So maybe not too much power, a little bit more vision.
Just what is wanted from the home side, and how often do we see from the elite level? And well, we might have been in Stadio Olimpico a few weeks ago together, Darry Morris, right the way through to Theakston Lane. Once you've scored,
indeed,
you are likely to make an error.
And you get a warmer welcome at Theakston Lane, I can tell you that. Stadio Olimpico.
The pies are better.
The pies are a damn sight better. Yeah. Not enough of pizza, but this is where you start your rugby, all the minis and juniors and the girls side, and you did a great thing for a lass over there, didn't you? Come on, don't be modest. No, it was brilliant. Go on.
Well, we'll come to that in just a second. Let's just see how Richmond should go here with this attack. The run around was an option on. Big collision in midfield. The referee saying that the ball has just been nudged forwards on the floor, wants to try and play the advantage, but isn't quite able to. Well, on the way up, spotted that Gary Howell's daughter Belle is the captain of the under-14s girls side, and after a rather momentous week to end her 140-cap England career, it just occurred to me on the train, wonder if I can rustle up my old mate Sarah Hunter and do a little surprise video call for a girl who's a captain of an under-14 side, and perhaps we can just call her over and see, have a little chat. How's the season going? Are you enjoying? I do a lot of work in women's rugby, but hey, I know someone who might have a bit more of a chat with you, and bless Sarah Hunter. She answered the phone, and they had a 10-minute chat.
And you used my phone to record it, so it'll be on your
I'll pop it out on my Twitter.
I'll
send it to England Rugby as well, and it'll be on @Nick Sport a bit later. But yeah, lovely moment.
This isn't a lovely moment, unfortunately. I think it's Lewis Hamilton, Irish, his nickname. He's come off. He took a little bit of a bang, and he did so well in the early stages of that game, but he'll be, medical staff are all over him, so they'll have to have a quick rethink who they're going to come on to make back up to 15. Josh is pointing, it's going to be Matthew Reid, Reedy.
Great.
Nickname. There you go, that's easy for you and me. We like that, it is. Big, bloody hell, he's a big lad, big runner, scrum cap on. Big things expected.
Yeah, he's 36 years of age, Matthew Reid, dad of 3. He's been playing for a good 30 years. I noticed on his biog he said moments he likes the most, or moments looking forward to, hoping that prop Don Payne will catch one of his passes. Well, Don hasn't started yet, but or been onto the field yet, but clearly a bit of a friendship there to take note of.
Well, what they've got to stop at the moment is Rob Thorne again. He set that try up for Peter Bainanavua, and he's making again a lot of dents in that midfield. He's a big lad, you can't miss him. And Specky's looking on, enjoying it. It's like the last of the summer wines out here, isn't it? Jesus. There you go.
There's someone in a bath going down past the back of the...
Actually, the bar, he said bath, and the bar will be empty now. It was absolutely jam-packed before.
Sorry, Bath. I'm in the wrong part of the world to say Bath, aren't I?
Yes, you are, sweetie.
Terribly sorry, Yorkshire.
Goodness me, Bath.
You've got a southerner in your midst.
Bath. That's it. Nothing better on a day like this. Cold day, get in the bath, brew on, sugared, very, very high sugared brew, and then just soak there for about half an hour. This is where the game's going to be won or lost, I think. Again, Richmondshire like the tight situations that they bring. They can just about handle themselves. They got Hasty in that front, and like I said, the captain, Flalvey, and Kilsby. Kilsby, again, we did that documentary a little bit, didn't he? His nickname is Biscuit, and Josh is just he's actually Special Biscuit because he's broken biscuits. He spends more time on the sideline.
Oh, I see.
That's good. That's Josh.
Excellent.
That's Josh said that, so
like
it wasn't us. He's dished it up, but actually at the moment the three of them are doing a good job getting stuck in there.
Well, that Richmondshire second row has also got Big G, Gavin Cole in there. Talked about having a hot bath. Well, he was a man who had a hot bath.
There he goes.
This is a brilliant bit of work from Matthew Reid. Straight onto the field and into the action. Making an awful lot of meterage, and now is there a little bit of room for one of the men more fleet of foot as Ben Smith, just 17 years of age, tries to cut through. And it's the main man again. Oh, the turnover is excellent from Baina Vanua, but is it? Hands went beyond the ball first, says the referee. Right on the spot, and this could be a chance for another penalty to take the deficit down to 1 point.
Give it to Reedy. He's made an absolutely massive input there. Again, it is the correct decision going for 3. Slow things down to your pace. There's nothing wrong with that, but again, you can see the explosive power of the substitute number 8 who came on, making big inroads, very, very hard to put down. And again, it relieves a bit of pressure for Richmondshire when you've got a player like that who can have that impact. This should be an easy 3. Hillman could kick the first one, he should kick the second one, and then there's a point between them.
Successful 3 points.
Yeah.
Richmond up to 6 now. Darlington on 7 with the game's only try so far. Yeah, quite the impact from Matthew Reid. Plenty of services connections through the side. Reid, another one who's in the army.
Yeah, talking to Nick Hunter, who's in security police when he penalty there, but security police in his working time, and said they have a very good relationship with them. It's the biggest army barracks, I think, in the country, I'm led to believe, and that's great to have, isn't it? Just on your doorstep if you've got a few. We need a few players. Yeah. If you've got any handy ones, and I'll think Darlington use it as well. So yeah, it's nice to have on your doorstep.
Handy resource.
And there you go, Darlington turning down the 3. It's well within in range, but they're just going to go. Oh dear,
That's been sliced a little.
It has indeed. But again, puts the pressure on. Richmondshire trying to run out, and this is now got a long way to do. There you go, different angle, getting caught. So in the end, a bad kick's turned into a good kick.
Certainly able to put the pressure on while Richmondshire are in possession.
Can't quite see because the crowd. I'm not brave enough to move the crowd, by the way. So we'll just have to guess that one. But I think from the reaction of the crowd, that was a penalty to the home side.
Yeah, just looking at our monitor here, it certainly was. The arm went up.
Oh, that.
But
you're talking of. don't give it to the Darlington midfield.
Well, in fact, it's going to be one of their nippier men in Andy Harris who's gone, and then Baina Vanua. Is he going to be caught? He certainly is. And who was it? That man Reedy with the tackle. Yep. And then pushing the visitors out into touch, use it as an extra defender. That'll do very nicely. but it was on an interesting aerial kick.
Plan 1, keep hold of the ball. Plan 2, don't kick it to the good guys in the midfield. But again, really, like you said, he's made a massive impact coming on at number 8. Obviously in attack, but that time in defence, bringing the Fijian down, because again, he's got a good pair of heels on him. And now it's I think you've got to say there is a slight uphill and downhill, and I would say Darlington are playing downhill at the moment with the wind behind them, so Richmondshire should have the advantage in the second half.
Just look to try and push it out to the wing, but that's just going to go into touch and allow the home side the ball, or is it? Oh, I think we were already playing with an advantage from the far side, so we will be going back.
Well, Alex Swart, he couldn't do anything with that pass, really. It was literally on his bootlaces. They were playing. Griff, the referee, was playing an advantage. So again, it's a massive attacking opportunity now down the little bit of a slope. That Darlington midfield, a lot of pace, a lot of power, a lot of size in them. Got to win the ball first, though. Well, you could do the old 8-9 down the blind side. Use the winger. Why not? Why not try that? Yes, it is the 8-9!
Morris called it. Richmondshire have just about reacted to it in time. But now they've got a platform to perhaps release it more on the open side. And here it comes. A few of the big men getting themselves involved in the tackle, but now the initial break, the handoff, the line ever close, but spilling it forwards. The attempted clearance, it's picked up by Baina Vanua, and look at the physicality of the 13 from Darlington. Ball is there for them, central position. And the interfering players not rolling away is the call from the referee, and this will allow the visitors some time to think about what they're going to do here.
Well, Granger was the guy that actually gave the pen away, but we're going to have to stop proceedings at the moment. There's someone down just on that far side. I think it's the number 1, Kilsby. Not quite sure, but again, you can see the power and the conditioning in Banavanua. Again, you just don't want to kick ball to him. I mean, they did well initially, Richmondshire, getting that ball back, but straight away, instead of just exiting well, using your hands and giving it some structure, they just kicked it first time, and that's just opened the field up for. And again, it was a bad kick, so we're hoping that Kilsby is fine. They just need to hold on to that ball. Don't kick it away aimlessly.
Star of our pre-show VT, Mr. Kilsby. 20-year gap from when he started learning the game at secondary school to then coming back January last year when he revisited.
There you go. You wanted a round of applause.
That's it.
You wanted a... Josh is just saying, am I right? You wanted a rest. Quite right. Loose head props.
We didn't quite stoop to the levels of the Beaconsfield Tens tournament that I played in about 10 years ago, where if you went down, the physio ran on with a beer, a sponge and a cigarette. And after a bit of each, then you were back to your feet and carried on.
The beer and the sponge are good, not the cigarette. But actually, I did see one of the lads there mysteriously getting a bottle of port out of the said bar area. And I went at half-time, he looked at me and went, possibly before. So we know what they're having. They're not having the sweet tea at half-time. They're having a little taster of port. Here's a good taster of a kick.
There we go. 3 points go on the board then. Darlington just to extend their lead to 4 points.
Right, you're going to ask Josh how things are going. I'll just pass the mic over.
Well, I think you've done it.
Yeah. I think it's definitely closer than I thought it would be, and I think that kick kind of showed a bit of respect to Richmond, really, with how ferocious they've sort of started, really. So yeah, I think it's been good. Reedy obviously adds a bit of a different dimension to what Lewis Hamilton does. Very physical in the carry and very physical in defence. He's showcased both. But yeah, it's pretty evenly matched. I say Darlington have some pretty big runners in the back, which they haven't managed to utilise a lot, which is really quite handy to us. As long as we just keep sticking to what we're doing, keep up the tempo, I think it's going to be a very close game. So, yeah.
Oh,
So
now
the
did
tackles are flying in, it's great.
Yeah, it looked like that just went forwards on the floor and the referee was right on the spot. Thank you, Josh. Great to get your thoughts, get that insight as well. Probably more analysis from Josh there in 30 seconds than from the previous 20 of us.
I know what you're going to say, so just shut it then, please. Thank you very much indeed. I'm enjoying my afternoon. I don't need you to spoil it. But again, I think Andrew Down, the coach, will be delighted. Again, apart from a few, not very good kicks directional-wise, the actual spirit, the ruck speed has been superbly good. The impact of the subs coming on. So yeah, I concur with what Josh is saying. They've really, really put it together. It's whether they can sustain this, because again, if they drop a ball or whatever or kick badly, you've got a situation that midfield will run at you, Darlington. Some banter flying around.
Plenty coming onto the sidelines. I don't know whether you're picking that up at home, but
if there's any bad language, we do apologise, but it's all meant in a very good spirit. When the players start laughing, it's okay. Now, scrum time again. This is one area where Richmondshire have been able to hold their own good, and that platform again for that lad Reid.
It's going to be the one to play it away. It's going to go down the line this time, and Baina Vanua came thundering up to make the hit, dislodged the ball in the tackle, and then has reclaimed it.
It was Christie knocked over.
And they need to try and stop this at source here. Richmondshire. Into touch they go.
Touch, yeah.
John Moulding is the man running the line on the far side, club secretary.
Doing a good job, but you can see that the potential Darlington have got. Not only that midfield, I've talked about is that the winger, right winger in Swart, but also the Harris. And again, you get Swart on this left wing. And we're in 14, and you've got Harris on the other side. Normally he would have 14, but he's got 11 on. So, yeah, and there's a sub just come on, I believe. 21. James Brown.
Shire are right in their own line here.
Now they've got to be a little bit sensible now. I wouldn't be passing this ball out too much. It's one for the forwards.
It's quite the clear out.
A good old hammer ball, I think, just keeping it tight, roll up the middle.
It's going to be hasty.
That's what you need to do. There is a little bit of breeze against them, so again, this kick needs to... Yeah. Oh, not there.
Taken down by the fullback, and now Darlington sensing that there's a chance down the near side to send Baina Vanua away. Job will be done in terms of trying to keep it infield. But that'll be a penalty to the Shire. They'll be happy with that, Richmondshire. They contained the threat down the wing, and they managed to put the pressure on, getting over to try and get the steal, winning that holding on penalty.
Yeah, they did well. They scrambled superbly there. I think it was Cox with the celebration when he was the actual man getting over top of that ball to get that penalty, but they needed it. Again, they just got to hold on to half-time. Like I said, they're down the slope in the second half. But they really do not need to kick badly, and that's the trouble, is they've just got no direction on those kicks. You're better off going 5 metres less and being in control of it, and then putting some pressure on the line out. The faithful looking on there, they know that, but again, the spirit has been superb. The heart, there's a few injuries out there, but they're still going. They're going hammer and tongs at each other, which is what you would expect from a local derby.
13 miles between the two clubs. If you want to know if you can get a taxi from Darlington to Richmondshire, well, it's going to be another one for Baina Vanua, running in relatively unopposed that time. They did well to find him the ball and give him the space that he wanted. Well, I'm lamenting the local taxi companies. That's another try.
Yeah, we'll come back to that, but I think you can see that Baina Vanua has played at a slightly higher level than these lads, because again, he's
super offload, isn't it?
Oh, brilliant. Again, it's that combination. Those two you could say Rob Thorne is a classic inside centre. He's the get out of jail merchant. He's the one that will crash it up for you, but he's in soft hands. Again, it's just on the shoulder, knowing with his size he's going to break that tackle, and when Baina Vanua comes back off that right foot, you ain't stopping him. Under the post, this will be 7 points. Absolutely. There you go. So, score is just going a little bit away from Richmondshire at the moment. 17-6. They need to hit back or need to hold on, not concede any more points. Regroup at half-time. Maybe that glass of port might do the job. But you can see again,
stiff resolve.
They did well in that bottom left-hand side. They actually again got that ball back. The commitment is there. They're good at the tackles. They're getting over top of the ball, winning the sort of rec ball, and then they just kick it away aimlessly. Unfortunately, you're better off just holding on to it and just, like I said, just go up the field with the forwards.
Well, they're looking to give it to the big man in the middle again, and it's taking a few to stop him as well. Oh, the attempted ball on the outside. It is going to be picked up by Vaina Vanua. Looking for the first half hat-trick, and it will be. Well, he's proving to be too difficult to stop here, and he's enjoying his afternoon on the Yorkshire Plains.
And that is the problem. If you miss your initial tackles, you are going to let people come crashing through. We've talked about Rob Thorne and his ability to get his arms free and to make those yards. And again, there was a chance on his own 10-metre line to bring him down. There he goes, you see. Don't bring him down. That's 2 missed tackles. And he's through, and he's just waiting his time. And the ball isn't the greatest pass, but again, the bounce of the rugby ball can go against you, can favour you. This time it has. And that's 3 tries for the outside centre. And that has been the difference at the moment. Bad kicking and unfortunately good finishing from that man in particular, but also set up by Rob Thorne. As we said, that one Fijian I think replaces another Fijian. And that's a great kick.
It's a really good conversion. Another one from Bradley on the board.
Biva Vanua is just gone off, so that Richmondshire will be happy about that, and they won't be happy about this. This is his 3rd try. Again, as Rob Thorne passes the ball, so there has been a substitution, and it's another Fijian coming on, and I think is it Stephen Hall? That's what it says on my list. Anyway, number 20.
Yep.
Here we go. Got to get a score now. Got to get the next score, Richmondshire.
Good footwork. Fresh man straight onto the field. Looking to try and get past the tackles, but that one was decent from Tom Thackeray. And Ryan Thompson, though, having a sharp couple of minutes for Darlington from the back to set the initial breakaway.
And this is what happens again when you get frustrated, and it's that, again, Folby's had a fantastic first. Dear. He's had a fantastic first half carrying the ball. Unfortunately, he's talked back to the ref, Griff, and having chatted with Griff before, he doesn't take any of that. He will have told the players that it's pointless. You're frustrated, and the trouble is that's it. You want to get your hands in that cookie jar and stop the ball, stop the flow of ball. But invariably, what you do, you just impound yourself and give another penalty away. Leaks another 10 metres, and that's not a bad kick from Bradley into the corner. 2 quick fire tries from Pravananua, and then you can see the scoreboard now, 6:24, so they definitely don't want another score against them.
No, absolutely. Will make the second half a fairly uphill struggle. Already got some work to do. Be playing slightly down the slope the second half, the home side.
I don't know whether it's that much of it.
Can give them that much. try to give them something here, Darren.
I'm trying my best as well. They're the home side. They won the prize to get us all lot. You can see the support. They've all got their beanie hats on. Fantastic. It means a lot to this community. Just again talking to all the guys there. You know, John Moulding. You mentioned Mark Pearson. The club captain. Nick Hunter. You know, Josh next to us here. All the guys. Andrew Down, it's given them a lift. It's given them, got a few cameras coming, a couple of idiots commentating on the game, and just brings coffers into the bar area, because again, invariably that's what funds all these things. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, it continues it to be a community hub as well, doesn't it? People come down watching the games on the TV in the clubhouse, coming down to midweek training, bit of fitness, bit of community, the social aspect as well. People move into an area, go and join your local rugby team. that wind has really taken that across field as well. The tackling was just good enough, but my goodness, what about the offload off the floor? But there's real hunger driving Darlington back in possession. That was nice to see.
Is that Perkis again?
It was.
Wow. He again, give him the ball. He is outstanding. He's dented a few ribs out there today, and that's again, it gives you can see that the crowd get lifted by it, the players get lifted by it. Even with those quick fire tries from Darlington, it's, you know, they know they're still in a game.
Our clock going into the red. The conclusion of this first half, it will be on the referees' timings. Darlington backline just look like they're licking their lips at whatever's going to come at them in terms of their defensive shift, but Richmondshire perhaps wisely to begin with it, just keeping it up the jumper.
Keep it tight, exactly.
Thackeray is at the back, acting like another back rower, and he gives it away. Hold on to possession through Hillman. Look to keep going down the short side, and Donovan is making all sorts of yards out there. Donovan Falvey. Now they want players over it. There's a penalty advantage being played. Could we see Richmondshire getting themselves on the score sheet in this first half? Referee saying that there was an illegal steal of the ball going on, so he'll bring them back for the penalty. It's right in that corner.
Well, I think they do exactly what they just did off there. It's a tremendous break from Falvey. Keep it tight. And again, don't play into the lion's mouth, in a sense. As you're going into that midfield, there's a lot of presence from Darlington, so keep it with your forwards. Go into the corner, catch and drive, get that ball at the back, get everyone on their feet, everyone get the same message. And again, it would be a great time to score, wouldn't it? Like I said, into the red, now 2 minutes into it. Get a score here, makes you feel better. Catch and drive. Josh is just shouting, yeah, I think that will be the order of the day. But again, are the darts good? They are.
Yeah, really good work straight up from Luke Bell. Got some decent height on it. Connectivity there between hooker and flanker was excellent. And now they're in that drive, and Reed is in there as well. And it goes to ground, and arguably down from Richmondshire. But they're able to reload, and it's pick and go time. Oh, and they've looked to just keep it off the ground, going back the other way, and Richmondshire get the try. Arms aloft from the supporters. That's what they've come down here to cheer on. And our cameras capturing the home side, getting a try.
Exactly what we needed from the Richmondshire's perspective. Really enjoyed that, play to their strengths. Again, initially catching and driving and going in field, and then decided to go left. Brilliant as far as the balance of the game's gone, and a great time to get that score. So this will be the last kick of the game. Oh, sorry, of the first half, not of the game. Should hope not. We've got 40 minutes to go.
So score confirmed from Jack Granger.
No, I don't think
the referee decides that will round off the first 40. Well, that will certainly give them heart to have managed to get into the corner and get that score on the board, which converted in the Tees Valley Social League, gives us a score of Richmondshire 13, Darlington 24, and well, it's the hat-trick from Bainivanua that has really put Darlington in that position. But certainly plenty to have given the home fans to cheer about towards the end of that first 40, Damien.
Indeed, and they've They've started to disappear into the bar for a well-earned pint, but again, here's the first of the score, and you can see it's all coming through that midfield, flooding through that midfield. Thorne initially and Bainavananua, as you mentioned there, Nick, just again, it's an easy run-in for his first try. Good hands, again, it's just good rugby. There's always support, and he can never be too deep in those situations. Get your man with the ball to make the decision. He's got an option. Like I said, Thorne could have gone himself. Didn't need to.
Sorry, Dale, you get the feeling that Bainavanua might be owing Rob Thorne a drink later. The work he's done to put him in that space.
But not only scoring tries, turning tries, turning the ball over. Unfortunately, he just got penalised on that one. And this was the first, I think it was the second penalty from Hillman. Again, it's a give me 3. There we go. Again, he's made a good impact. Reed bouncing off tackles, and that's what they need more. You need a good platform, people to come off that platform. But again, Bainavanua is there. He's everything that Darlington are doing. He seems to be at the epicenter of everything. Hillman with the second penalty. Again, that's it. You've got to kick better. Don't kick the ball away, and 2, don't let that guy have any chance of getting any speed up.
Perhaps a little sportingly, that's maybe the reason that Darlington have now removed him in that first half. I don't know whether we'll be seeing him a little later.
Well, like I said, I think he's played quite a higher standard than this social level. But again, doing well in the line-out, doing well in the set piece. But unfortunately, it's just that wayward kicking. And there we go, that's being bumped off this time. He didn't quite get in there, but again, makes the ball available. Scrambling defence from Richmondshire, that's good. Getting in, I think they turned this ball over, if I remember. It was Devon Cox celebrating, but the result is actually kicking the ball back into the midfield, and yeah, it's the 1-2 combination again.
Sensational hands, wasn't it? Just to bring that ball back from behind him and pull it in.
There you go, you see big lad down there, yep. And really, those quick fire tries, wasn't it? Yeah, they come again. Okay, so
this was Thorne setting them up.
If
for,
you know he's going to get the ball, you're going to have to do slightly better than that. But again, the pass wasn't there, but who's on the other end? That's his hat-trick. And again, so much guile, pace and power, and that's been the difference. This big lad making the break, and this big lad in a second finishing it off. So the message from Andrew Down would be, the coach, don't miss your tackles and don't kick badly.
And then this was the home side getting their score in the corner, making sure that that gap got a little bit reduced, just to 11 points then as we went into half-time. The two teams have been in the huddle, taken on a bit of refreshment, and we are now ready for the second half to resume. None of this 15 minutes, Lark. Just a couple of minutes, bit of a cuddle.
Exactly,
crack on.
Taking the time off the social. My goodness me.
Exactly.
I don't think the lads wanted the team talk, Josh, you're saying. They just wanted to turn round. That's it. Turn round, get the job done, but actually there's a big 40 minutes here. Straight away,
nice
straight away.
Pass, and straight away it is going to be that man again, Rob Thorne, who is just going straight up the middle. Gets the pass away, and it's good, Maisie running. Reed has gone for the follow-up tackle. In fact, have they stopped the ball getting down? No. Referee says the try is scored. It was Ross Martinscroft, the scrum half in the end, on the support line, but once again the man racking up all the assists this afternoon, Rob Thorne.
Again, it's almost like you know what he's going to do, so you've got to stop him, and unfortunately they're not. Going far too high. Now I'll be man managing him and man marking him with his opposite number. You just say, right, who's your best tackler? And if it's Reed at 8, you've got to put him in the centre, because again, you aren't going to win this game if you're not going to stop him. He's an absolute handful. And again, it's...
Never seen Tyson Fury play rugby before, but seems to be quite handy.
You wouldn't want to mix it with him, would you, Mr. Fury? But again, they're trying to scramble back. Unfortunately, it's just when you've got a big figure like Thorne in the midfield, everything you can just wait, see what he does, and just react to that. But again, that's a killer, really. Just literally as the whistle went for the start of the second half. That's exactly what you don't want. But again, you know he's coming. You've got to stop him. Boy, he's on the line. You've got to bite down on that piece of leather, whatever. So easy, too easy. Make them work for their tries. At the moment, they're just gifting them. Good finish, I've got to say, from
Martinscroft.
Yeah, the scrum half.
Voice of Dowie Morris, former England scrum half, British and Irish Lion. Involved with this community rugby at Wellington Park. And
level six. That's it. Not much higher than these boys, but yeah, it is great. And coming around the, in the sort of changing rooms and the clubhouse before, and this is where you come from. This is where you start. Everybody's starting. Not sure what the break is for. We lost the ball.
I think Reedy was just getting some attention.
You don't want him off. You don't want to take him off, eh? Josh is just saying he thinks he's coming off. There's a big round of applause going because again, I think he was tackling.
He's got a bit of ice on the back of the neck.
Yeah, he might be all right for a cameo. 5 minutes in 5-10 minutes time.
Darlington looked to play it. It was just carrying 10 metres and 1 centimetre. That's all it has to do. Now Thorne, and he breaks the tackle once more, and he's got options either side. Looks to the left, and then the link play. That's lovely now. Kick downfield, chase into the corner. Who's going to be the first one there? It's going to be a goal line dropout. And again, just seems that every time it's getting into the hands of the Big 12, it's on.
And Swart doing what James Lowe does for Ireland, just kicking the ball in right behind him. Again, it's very, very good play. Again, it's Thorne that busts up the middle.
Now this is going to be a tricky one for the home side because the wind is strong. They need to try and drill this as low and as far as they possibly can.
Indeed.
And away from a certain Mr. Thorne, no doubt. Chase is going to be important, but comes down with Bradley, who's then going to just put it on the toe, looking into the corner. Ball's going to beat everybody.
Nearly into the oak tree, not quite, but again, it's a very sensible kick. You don't have to try and score off every face. This is what I tell people in the coaching, whether you're under 12s or senior sides, you just got to keep the pressure, build the pressure, because the other side then has got to play out. They're going to make mistakes. That's when you capitalise. That's when you score. So that's good. I've got to say, good play from Bradley, the 10, towing it over there.
Not entirely sure what the call was here from the referee, because I thought the ball had maybe gone dead, but now we've gone back for a scrum. Seeing the return of Donovan Falvey. Only man who's come through the junior ranks of the club that we're seeing on show this afternoon. Been 18 years around these parts. As you said, Dowie, talking about key trades, is a roofer.
Yeah, there you go. And he gets Swartz to actually move from Darlington. That's better from Richmondshire. Keep it going. By the penalty now.
Now that's certainly got a bit of go forward on. That is a much better clearance despite the wind in the faces of Richmondshire.
Just saying, Swart, who was on with number 14, was playing on the left wing. He's gone into inside centre. Thorne still stays there. Big round of applause for number 18. Who's number 18?
It's Don Twinkletoes Payne. 52 years of age. He's a dad of 3 and a granddad of 3. He's been playing for 40 years, and these are the sorts of club characters that we love to see.
And he's lined up against Rob Thorne, so there you go. He wants a good game.
Let's hope he's taken a couple of ibuprofen before he started. Oh, and it's just not quite found the hands. It's gone backwards according to the referee. So trying to just find a little bit of footwork to come forwards here, and Darlington reload. Calls of go low from near our commentary position, and it's key advice because at times Richmondshire have just gone a little bit too top half. It's a little bit messy. To midfield. First man in was trying to rip the turnover, but the clear out was decent enough from Darlington. Now then, has it been nudged forwards there? No. It's just the fact that the ball wasn't quite playable, I think, is the reason that we're going to come for the scrum.
Yeah, it takes the pace out of it, which will help. The forwards from Richmondshire will be looking for that, because you can see they're just a yard quicker, yard fitter. Darlington, like you said, there's a couple of ringers in there, and I don't particularly like what happens when our sides play at Winnington Park and you go over the seconds or thirds and all of a sudden, the first haven't got a game. I tell you what we'll do, we'll load them up, and it doesn't do anybody any favours at all. You won the game, well done, congratulations. That's the basic one maybe, but when you put a few in.
Not sporting, is it?
No, but I think Richmondshire knew this, so. The problem is with that, you see, when you've got a gentleman shouting drive him, is that all 8 forwards stay down. Better that.
It is a good shove, certainly didn't give the scrum half much time to be able to play, and Thorne is just barracking his way through. It's extraordinary how many people he's able to continue to take with him. Attempted hack at the clearance came from Don Payne. Not sure he'll be invited on the next series of Strictly. Now the little chip over the top. Could there be a bit of room here? They've got to try and pick the ball up first of all, and actually does a decent job of managing to give them the slip, Devon Cox. Ball comes down. Bradley was able to just get rid of the attention now. Touches it down. What's the referee's decision? I think player possibly just taken out.
I think there was a player taken out. I think it was Ian Whitehead.
Whitey.
Good. It wasn't testing it, but Whitey unfortunately just didn't need to pull the trigger there. Whitey, let him go through. You've given a pen away. Again, they just build the pressure, don't they? If it's not Thorne through the middle, you've got Bradley just chipping it in again, keeping that pressure, building that pressure. And they're going for why are they going for a penalty?
Yeah.
Do they not know the cameras are on? Taking it very, very seriously now, going for 3 points.
Tees Valley Social League match.
And again, you were talking when you to Nick Hunter, the chairman, prior to the game. Did a fantastic interview there. And they're in Yorkshire 4 next year, so they've decided they can go up, they can sustain a campaign in the league, and great. So they will not forget what it is to play social rugby, but it'll be nice to have a little bit of structure. And I think the longest they will travel is about an hour, even in the massive county that Yorkshire is. So that'll suit them and just wish them well on their journey. And any players that they're seeing this that want to come to Richmondshire, get coming up. Come up north and enjoy it.
Now Rhys Hillman needs to get a bit of a chase on this. Needs to get his forwards hungry to get their hands on this ball and put some pressure on in possession.
Good kick, great kick.
And the follow-up decent enough as well. Taken in by James Brown.
I think it was Whitey who did the tackle. Spanner's doing a great job. Just having a bit of banter with everyone. Spanner, you keep going, Spanner lad. You just keep shouting whatever you want. It's your club. You can. The rest of his mates said, no, don't say that. Whatever you do.
We've got plenty of the club's officials just near our commentary position. Suggestions that the commentary team can take a break, that the fans have got it covered here, and they certainly have. Now they look to just try and cut against the grain with Kyle Christie. Offer then from the main man, Dom Payne.
Well, that's what they need to do. It's not sort of glamorous Harlequin type rugby, but it's effective. Keep the ball close to your forwards. That's where, invariably. There you go, big fella.
Big G, Gavin Cole. He's the man who played a match against Gisborough, made the last tackle of the game. Felt his leg was a little bit sore, went home, had a bath. Woke up the next day and thought, I should probably get this looked at. Popped down to hospital. He'd broken his leg and fractured his ankle and spent 7 days in hospital.
Every club have got someone like that. Oh, it's just a flesh wound. There's nothing, no problem at all. No, I'll be fine next week. No, I don't think you will be.
Yeah. It's pointing the other way.
This is it. Keep it going. This is it. One out rugby. That's what you need to do. And then when you pull the trigger, make sure you pull the trigger well. Go on! Go on!
Clearance was attempted, and in fact, because it went into a player in front of the ball, it's going to be a penalty to Richmondshire.
Just calm down now. Just need to poke this on your toe into the corner, as you did in that end of the first half. Catch and drive, nothing too glamorous. Get the communication right. Bring on your super subs, whatever you need to do.
The quickest twinkle toes we've seen from Dom Payne there was to run over and look to take the quick tap. But he was, well, with all of his experience, he was calmly happy to wait for the decision to then take the scrum.
Well, number 14's just come back, and Ben Smith, but it's not Ben Smith, is it, Josh? No. We'll come back. Number 14's come on. He's gone into the second row by the looks of it. Scotty, there you go. Josh has just said it's Scotty's come on. So, and Nathan's now gone to fullback. Perfect.
Okay, so Scott Kehan onto the field. He's the dad of 7. So can't be a TV in his house.
No, he can't get to watch what he wants. Anyway, that's for. Josh, that's why he's always here in the clubhouse. Anyway, big scrum time now. I thought he'd gone for a line out. I thought the penalty had been given, but they decided possibly to go for the scrum. This is where they're strong at. Catch and drive, hook it back. That's it, walking forward. Is the ref brave enough to give the penalty?
Yes, he is.
Right, do it again. You get 2 more of those, and you get a penalty try.
Live coaching from Dowie Morris here at Richmondshire. Can they hear him? That's the question.
It's not rocket science. You could hear Spanner before, I tell you, but he'd be telling him exactly the same. It ain't pretty, but it's effective. Get that ball in, get moving, a yard forward, you'll get another pen. 3 of those, you're guaranteed a penalty try. They're bringing heavy reserves on. Darlington.
Yeah, they're keen to switch things up again and get more of the starting lineup in that front row on. That's a sign of the threat that they can feel that Richmondshire are applying right now.
Well, that weatherman said this morning that it was going to be a bit of persistent rain come about 3 o'clock. Luckily, it's cold, about 7 degrees, but no rain so far. And they're going forward. As long as they're moving forward, he'll give another penalty. There it is.
Might have been an advantage to be played there for a moment, but it is the second penalty from the scrum as Darlington can't cope with that pressure.
There's Spanner there on the left, and Josh is saying Josh is a hooker, so he knows exactly the strengths of Richmondshire, and that is in the tight. They're going for the third one, and like I said, this should be a march from Griff, the referee, under the posts. Play to your strengths.
You'll hear Hear this cheered across the top of the Yorkshire Dales.
Forward. Oh,
The ball's come flying out and then lost on control on the floor. Knock-on advantage is the call, and Darlington have it.
Watch the midfield. Watch the midfield.
And they find it to Rob Thorne. And now he gets his head down and goes. And he sees two smaller men having a look at him. Are they going to be brave enough to have a go? The offload will come away. And now it's just going to be a race into the corner. And from one end, where Richmondshire were applying the pressure, it's Darlington scoring under the posts at the other. Clinical, devastating.
And that's what happens if you just lack a little bit of concentration. And their forwards are just trudging back over halfway. Richmondshire, they thought they'd done enough. Well, they had done, unfortunately. That ball just squinting out of the back. Again, Hillman couldn't control it. Turnover, and I was just saying, midfield. Where have they come? Where have their strength been today? Just two quick passes. And again, no one is pushing, no one is pressurising Thorne in that midfield. And again, overrunning, sticky conditions, unfortunately. He doesn't fancy going it. But again, he's got Stephen Hall outside. And there's only one winner. Under the post, not 5, that's going to be a simple 7. And you've got to feel for the Richmondshire pack there, because again they had them under the pump really. Again, just doing what they do well, just keeping it tight, and that's, they look a little bit crestfallen as they walk towards near. You can see that man through the midfield again. Everything that's been good has come through the midfield for Darlington. Spanners saying, unlucky lads, it should have been a penalty try, but there you go. The referee made the correct decision.
Well, the ball came squirting out, didn't it? So there was no control to have a ruling on that scrum by that point. Ball almost too aggressively hooked in the process. A few yards reply from Darlington. Richmondshire being called to go round the right. There was really good hands. Falling to the ground was Ryan Samways, but going to be a penalty to Richmondshire, and not quite sure the referee spotted that. I think that was a little bit of cheeky ball play. They might have lost him 10 metres.
I think 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, unfortunately. But again, I'll be a bit more concerned with Rhys Hillman's going to put this now. Don't go for broke. Just get up to the 22. That'll do. That'll do. You don't want to force it. Don't want to overcook it. Again, the forwards having a mother's meeting. Get the communication right. I think you might need Donovan Folvey in there, the hooker, because again he's the one throwing it. So the message is gone. And it's quite good. They're taking a bit of pace out of the game. It isn't their strength, so that's fine. They've got to get this bit right. I would hazard a guess, a good old catch and drive.
Ball goes over the top to the back. Almost a bit of a surprise to those gathering it, but then it's excellent work from Scott Mitchell, 24-year-old who's come off the bench and looked handy. Neil Gardner, I believe it is.
It's a difficult one because they changed shirts, because he said his shirt, the 19, was a little bit tight. So that's the reason. But again, he made a good impact to the game. This is what you need, these guys coming on. Scott Mitchell there, he's outside in wide. That's it. Bouncing off the tackles. We like this.
Richmondshire going again through Falvey.
He's been very impressive, I've got to say.
Trying to use the forwards to make those key yards. Darlington wanting to give the clean picture to the referee on the turnover.
I'll get Josh. Josh, you go out in front of there because we can't see, because the crowd are just in the pitch. Well, if there's a try, Josh, this is on you.
I'm half climbing the scaffold as we speak.
I've got Nick at the scaffold, Josh over the line, but are Richmondshire over the line yet?
They've decided that they are going to let the backs have a little look at it. Don Payne. Penalty Richmondshire. Referee was going to go with a quick tack. Don Payne goes. Players won't back on the try line, so it'll be another penalty.
Screaming for the ball out wide on the right-hand side.
Calls for a yellow card from the fans around. Send him walking, they're saying. It's the quick tap once more. Another big hit on Falvey, but he's ridden it well and gets the ball to ground. Richmondshire reload. A little bit too upright into the carry there and made it a little easy for Darlington.
They want the ball outright.
Into the hands of Hillman, but he was well met in the attempted rip as well. Fly hacked along the floor. It's only ended up back in the hands of the home side, and players need to roll away, which they're not doing. Referee's arm is out. It's another penalty in this area.
Well, if there's a few more, there isn't the only one option Griff the referee can do. It's constant offending is a yellow card. I'm sure he'll be telling that now to the guys.
I think Donovan Falvey's just got up. He's just feeling his forearm around his bicep. He's just had to leave the field. So another change coming onto the field is
Porky. There's your mate Porky.
Porky himself.
Yeah. Come on, Porky, make an impact now.
41 years of age.
Jack Howell, his son, started the game. Piglet, I love it.
Yeah.
Only,
Porky and Piglet.
It's not difficult, but it's funny.
Yeah.
It's
want.
good. It's my sense of humour. Here they go.
Quick tap, and they fall short once more. Going to be back to more of the options to truck it up. Darlington try and get over the top. Bring it out for Payne. Plenty of screams in the corner. Now they are going to send it out down the line a little bit more, but then it's the intercept. Oh, it's super from Hall. Read it like a book. Arms outstretched in front. And once again, through all the toil of Richmondshire, it's the other end we're looking. And Darlington have punished them once more. It's brutal.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the Richmondshire forwards. Unfortunately, they're just, to say downcast would be an understatement. They've given their all there in that left-hand side, and once they pulled the trigger, I don't know where the call came from, but it was telegraphed. And again, you can see Stephen Hall has played again at quite a higher level. He read that superbly well. That's his second try within 5-6 minutes.
It's one of those, isn't it, Dowie, where if a defender is coming up that hard for the intercept, the power of a dummy in a scenario like that to send him going, because there'll be space in behind.
Absolutely. Hindsight's a great thing. Hindsight is a great thing, but it is just mistakes, Josh, as you're saying. Yeah, just mistake after mistake, unfortunately. Play to your strengths. And they read it. That's what happened, and that guy's a catwalk in, isn't he? Plenty of time to do it and dot the ball down. 5 makes 2, makes 7. And that scoreline just gets further and further away from Richmondshire.
Here's another look at it.
That's it, the trigger's pulled. The ball's gone from Hillman, and it's that pass there. And again, all the players asking if Josh is doing it right. He's doing fine. He's doing fine. Yeah, he hasn't sworn. Not once. He feels like swearing, I tell you, but he hasn't sworn. Right, they're playing for pride now. They're playing for pride, as everyone does on a Saturday when you're up against it. You're not going to win this game at all, but you can get a couple of scores, and that's what Richmondshire, the message should be now. Come on, get at them, tackle hard, put them away.
Well, now they're combining once more. It was Hall who's been on the score sheet, and look at the mazy running It's then the knock-on by Vanua back onto the field and just looking devastating once more. Couldn't quite find his teammate that time.
And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, they bring Vanua back on, who scored 3 in the first half. So you've got 2 flyers out there now.
We've had the odd knock-on, Dowie, but actually I think it's worth saying that second 15 rugby, decent standard, plenty to enjoy.
But look, it's great. It's at this level you will get mistakes because the lads, you know, it is their job. So they're going to make mistakes, but it makes the game go a little bit better, I think, as it gets for both sides as that goes off the heel and that's a one against the head.
Yeah, it was just beginning to be hooked, but then bounced forwards off players in the scrum and came back on the Darlington side.
That's one of the areas of dominance it was for Richmondshire, but I think Holvey's gone off and they've got to really bite down hard now.
Advantage now being played to Darlington. Got to try and keep the hunger to defend here, Richmondshire, regardless. Comes off the head. Advantage was always being played. It's not going to be too much opportunity for Nathan Bradley to get away.
It is a shame, unfortunately, but again, they're always playing the advantage on that one. Again, it's just pressure, builds pressure, makes mistake. Holvey's back on. He's just got a bit of blue tape on his arm. He's fine. Don't worry. He's probably broken it, but it's all right. It's just like I said before, it's a flesh wound. Don't worry about it. No problem at all.
I'll only find out tomorrow. What I don't know today doesn't trouble me.
Yes. And a couple of libations later, you know, and you don't feel it anyway, do you? Josh just said he doesn't pass anyway, so it doesn't matter. He doesn't need his arm. Just the bind.
This one knocked on at the scrum, or sorry, at the line out, or at least lost by Darlington. So Richmondshire reacting and able to scoop up the spoils. Back for Hillman. Plenty of pressure. Just got it away off the end of the toe.
Ball's gone over the hedge. Ah, there you go. That's what it's all about. Start 'em young, and one day you never know.
I could do with hot chocolate.
Yes, my feet are gone
Yeah.
incredibly cold. Warm me up. Come on, Richmondshire, let's go. Let's get a length of the field.
Calls are coming on from the sidelines. They've spotted that Dom Payne has stood in that central midfield position around the 12-13 channel, and I think some of his club colleagues are trying to suggest to him that Vanua is going to be the man he's got to mark. Fair to say the Fijian is going to be a marked man here.
Well, we've got Spanner on the left-hand side. He's saying, you know where it's coming, and I think we do know where it's coming from.
Stopping it's another matter.
Here we go. That's good ball. Good take. First catch and drive. That drags all the Richmondshire forwards in, and then just bang, out it goes. And like I said, we all know where it's going to go to.
Certainly initially it seemed like Richmondshire were trying to not engage in that catch and drive, but they have now had to do so. Hope we're not going to see too much more of Adam Walker than we need to, as the ball is loose.
I think that's the first mistake I think the Darlington midfield have made. There was loads out there. It's not bad with 10 minutes to go and your scoreline's 13-46 though. Who's come on now, Josh?
Cody Smith onto the field.
There we go. So they haven't kept the shirts on as I requested. For me, with my lack of brain cells. Here we go. Last 10. Last 10.
Need to get the hook of the ball, which they do. Position 9 is looking to try and put pressure on.
I like that. Bit of pressure on, don't give an easy ball. Oh, see, kick it away. Yeah, kick it to the Fijians. No.
Hall. Oh, a lovely pirouette to get back down the touchline as he wanted to, but was then met by the last line of defence.
Was it Granger, the number 8, I think?
Let's hope there was nobody in that pram.
Yes, there was no one in the pram. Before anyone phones in or calls in, no one was hurt. Not straight. Here we go. There's a lot of movement in the Darlington backline in the midfield. They've won the ball well. Off the base, here they go.
Into the midfield, looking to take names, which they begin to do, but then, oh, we've seen it again. Another drop from Byron Vanua. He is human.
Byron Vanua scored 3 tries in the first half coming on. He's getting a little advice from the likes of Spanner on our left and the rest of the crowd. All good banter, of course. He hasn't dropped many.
Seven and a half remaining on our match clock. Dowie Morris just has a quick glance over to the bar.
Do they do oxtail soup over there?
Oh yes, please.
Getting cold now, but again, I still am in the belief that Richmondshire can go the length. Oh, not with that hook they can't. Oh, it's come back.
It has come back.
It's a funny old game.
Quick pick up from Hillman. Falvey. Oh, he's almost a dummy of taking the contact, and look,
he's played well.
Super hungry to do the work and get through, isn't he? Not believing that any contact is going to stop him in his mission. That's what you want. Get over it again. Don Payne is arriving. 52 years of age. Down to ground he goes. And into touch.
Yeah, they're keeping it down that narrow side, but unfortunately a bit too narrow. We'll have to get the police in a minute. The crowd again a bit too close to the plate. You can see John Mould in there with the flag. It's the wind seems to be going straight across the pitch now, so there's no advantage for both sides. And the
almost a bit of a delay in that coming into the line out. Hooker and scrum half just getting to know each other.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Scrum halves union. Let the big boy have it.
Know which battles to pick. Oh, well, that's gone down well with the home fans. They were given the free kick. They took it. First pass, dropped it. As the players get a little tired here, the focus and the skills are just beginning to drop. Not far away.
Just asking the referee what's in the pie. It's meat and prata, or is it chicken and gravy? That's great. It's great to see a big crowd out here. They got minis and juniors you can't see it, but where we're standing here, the minis and juniors are having an impromptu game behind us. It's fantastic, the way it should be.
Up into the air it goes. Brian Evanua was well met. Able to get the ball away. Oh, but it's the intercept from Nathan Bradley. He is steered into touch. It's probably about that time, Dowie Morris, to ask you to tell us who has stood out for you.
Yes, well, seeing as it's Richmondshire's day, it has been a great performance from Darlington. I've got to say Rob Thorne and the two Fijian guys have been unbelievable, but my player of the match will come from Richmondshire, and it goes to Donovan Folby, the number 2, the hooker, who started hooking. He's now, I think, strapped himself onto the blind side of the scrum, the open side of the scrum, and he's my Richmondshire player of the match.
Fantastic. Well, we will do our best to try and grab him for a word at the end. Donovan Falvey.
Well, he's just walking into this ruck area now. He's given his all. Here he goes. He's on the ball now. He's been brilliant. He's carried hard. And like I said, he's ended up on the left-hand side of the scrum.
Penalty advantage is always being played.
Yeah.
Darlington not rolling away.
And I think that's a good thing for sides watching this, or any sides, under 12s, under what, if you've got a free play, if you've got an advantage, go for it. Just go for your hot potato call or whatever. Just move that ball left, right. If you've got a good referee who's with you and he's got a good eye for a good advantage, you've got nothing to lose. Always go back to your source. Always back for the penalty.
Got some decent nudge into the corner as well.
You better get back on the scaffolding now, because I put Josh back out there, because they're right in this corner.
They are.
And knowing how.
And you want this grandstand finish,
yes,
don't you?
We do. 2 minutes to go. They've got to score. This place will erupt. Can you see? There's Griff. Done a good job, the referee. No messing about. No cards. No needed for any cards. No high tackles. Firmly reffed. Fantastic communication. And here we go.
Dummy pod at the front, and they do claim it in the middle. That's better. And now they want to try and get this drive on and get some go forward. They're only on just inside the 22, so plenty of room to go, and plenty of Darlington men who've come straight through the middle who are doing their best to disrupt it as well.
Get all the backs in there. Get everyone in.
It's gone to ground now. The question is whether it's going to come back and whether it's playable, and referee Griff says it isn't, and it's going to be a Darlington scrum. It's not what you wanted, Dowie.
No, it isn't. Not what the players wanted either. Again, unfortunately, it's just held up. And once that ball's off the floor, there's only one decision the referee can make, is actually defence is put in. Mind you, they may want to leave the game with a full length of the field. They've got all the pace out there. Like you said, you've seen most of it being utilised. This Spanner, he's going mad out there. He's still barking. Encouragement, love him. He's been doing it all afternoon. He'll do it all night, Josh has just said. He's a character, but that's what clubs like this. That's what you get, and you need characters in the game.
Falvey in there, stopping Darlington making any yards. Driving through they go.
Early in the red, aren't we? So, do they want to keep it tight, or they'll give us it? I think with the dancing Fijians out there, they'll want to leave this game with another score. And there you go, anyway.
Well, the referee brings about the end of the match. Richmondshire managing to get that score on the board at the end of the first half, but Darlington showing themselves to be the slightly smarter outfit altogether, bringing a few slightly smarter players to the fixture. And we saw, well, Stephen Hall and Bainavanu are key men throughout. Dowie Morris, I'll give you a chance to run us through some of the match highlights. I'll scurry off and see if I can grab with.
I think Alex, I just told him we play the matches too, so hopefully, yes, he won't be too far. They're just doing the guard of honour. 3 cheers for all that and everything, but yeah, it's been a great occasion. Again, it's not about the winning, and that's it. It's the play together, stay together. That's the motto. Yes, they would have loved to win, but you can see the difference in class. There was a few ringers in there, and that's all you need at this level. But at the end of the day, we've had 26 players from each side, 25 from each player from each side, going out there, enjoying themselves, playing. We've got juniors, we've got girls, you know, and that's what it's all about. Fantastic.
Well, if you've just joined us and you missed some of this brilliant community rugby as part of this Stay Together, Play Together, well, this man, Rob Thorne, was a key part of things, wasn't he, Dowie?
Absolutely fantastic. You go and do the player of the match. I will try and commentate my way through this. And there again, that was the slight difference in class was the midfield for me personally. Rob Thorne doing the get out of jail classic 12 centre role. A bit more than that, his distribution is superb. By Vanavula was on the end of most of it. Again, this is the guy that done all the damage, and really, if you were playing Darlington next week, you would actually be loading that midfield to try and stop the potential damage and danger from that again wrecking ball. It's a one-man wrecking ball, but fair dues to Richmondshire. They tried their best. Again, they come here, they enjoy it, they play social stuff. Too much onus on the fitness, but again, it isn't about that. It's just pulling a pair of shorts and putting a pair of boots on, meeting mates, having friends. There's a great crowd here, 500 odd people have come down and supported. Yeah, Darlington have won the day, but it doesn't matter. They'll be talking this for a long time, I'm sure. The day the cameras came down here and enjoyed it. So like I said, if you fancy a game of rugby, you know where to come. It's a fantastic, beautiful part of the country, and all levels, all ages, all skills are well and truly enjoyed down here. Just come along. I said, bring your boots with you. And again, we just got a couple of more minutes on this before we hear from my player of the match. It was going to be a Richmondshire thing. We've got Josh on my left who's helped us fantastically all afternoon, and he'll enjoy that being a hooker. Goes to a hooker, but you've got to admire some of the skills out there. Josh just said he's the best player in the pitch. That's Donovan Fulvey he's talking about. But again, their strength, Richmondshire's strength would be in the pack, and you've got to say that Darlington's strength, obviously, are these guys in the midfield. Breaking tackles, and again, potentially, you've got some firepower out and wide. As we just wait, I think the makeup the makeup girl is doing her job on Donovan, we would think. Josh is saying they need a lot of makeup. The old ones are the best, and this was there again, that try. I think that was the second one from Stephen Hall, who just read that beautifully. Richmondshire just battering on that left-hand side, and when they decided again just to flick the switch, it wasn't the right time to do it. Again, they telegraphed it a bit, and that's an 80-yarder. Coach killer, a player killer. There you go. Maybe should have, in hindsight, keep it closer, don't do that, and yes, indeed. It was it. So with 40 seconds to go, and like I said, apologies for the beginning of the game. Someone must have stepped on the cable. I don't think the pictures went down, the sound probably went down, but again, that's where we are. It's grassroots rugby, we do our best. And like I said, if there's another competition coming your way, look at the RFU site, and I'm sure you can apply for that. And like Richmondshire, they couldn't believe it when they got awarded it, and they've just had the biggest ball of a day, and actually just preparing for it's been fantastic. So they absolutely loved it. So here we go with the interview. Take it away.
There we go. That's how things have turned out. Yes, we are down pitch side. I'm very pleased to say that we have our player of the match, Donovan Falvey, with us. Donovan, how are you?
Exhausted, like always.
I bet. Commiserations on the result, but there were some pretty big boys you had to stop there, weren't there?
Well, yeah, when a team like that, top of the league, comes down here and plays us, it's always going to be a hard fixture. I'm just happy with all the boys playing absolutely phenomenally today.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
I should imagine so. How's the arm?
It'll be sore Monday morning, and I don't think my boss is going to be very happy, but hey,
Is it roofer by trade?
yeah, it is. Been doing that 6 years now, and it's exhausting, and it's kept me fit for rugby seasons.
I should imagine it has. Now, you're one of the players that, well, I think you're the one out of the whole team that's actually come all the way through the junior ranks at this club.
Yeah, I didn't leave and came through everywhere.
I think you were just saying about 18 years. So what's that been like, to be part of a club for that long?
Really good. Everyone struck me like family throughout the years, and then I got welcomed in to the senior section with open arms, and everyone's been so respectful with everything, me growing up, and it's just been one fight after another. Being under 15s, been the only man actually registered to the club at under 15s. I had to play for Barney at the same time, but I was still registered for Richmond, which was the annoying part.
Yeah, well, so the story over the last couple of years then as to how the club has sort of gone to the more social side, now with an ambition to get back into Yorkshire 4. You must be, full of delight and confidence knowing that people have started to flood back into the club over the last couple of years.
We were struggling last season for members and teams where we were getting the old boys out that haven't played like 5-6 years, and now I'm happy enough to say that we've got 30 players that are happy to play every week. It's been really hard to even decide what 25 to pick for today.
Yeah.
So it's been amazing to play in front of everyone. This is the most support we've had actually here for a fixture in a long time.
Good.
Very, very long time.
They heard our cameras were coming, possibly.
Well, yeah, that as well, but it's been, we're going to put a lot of money behind the bar, so that's all that can really matter, and it promotes the club, and hopefully people in the surrounding areas will come back, or new players will come.
Well, listen, you're a great advert for the club, not only with everything you were doing on the field. I think I said in commentary, you're just one of those players that's determined not to believe he's tackled, which is what you want in making those yards as a front row forward.
Well, all I got taught when I was a junior, you're the biggest guy on the pitch, all you got to do is run hard, but now I'm one of the smallest front row, so I've had to improve my speed and improve my guts when going through a tackle.
Well, I think you're a shining example of what sort of players that clubs like this need. So congratulations, you're our player of the match today. It's been a real pleasure
Thank you very much.
to be here, to watch the club in action, and also for everything that the club have done with regards to the Play Together, Stay Together campaign.
Yeah.
So look, may the club continue to be successful, continue to get good crowds like this down. Just tell them the cameras are here every week. They won't know.
Well, we've had more members to train in these past couple of weeks than we have every other time. Because the cameras are coming.
There we go. They all wanted their shot. It's been an absolute joy to be here. My thanks to Darren Morris and of course to Richmondshire for hosting us. And look, wherever you are, follow this example. Stay in the club if you're a youngster, or of course if you're a little older, well, maybe Ben Kilsby's story is one to get hold of. And of course it's a chance for you to pull on the boots, go and buy a new pair of boots and get back involved. Create a community, be part of your community, volunteer, whatever it takes, and keep involved in rugby. It's why we love the sport, for the community and social aspect as well. I think I'm going to let you get to the bar. Well, maybe via the shower. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Exactly. Might just go get a pint first.
Yeah, quite right. Take it into the shower. From all of us here, it's a very good afternoon.
And there we go. Well, fantastic player of the match performance there from Donovan Fulvey. Again, if you need a new roof or a quote on your roof, that's what he does, so you know where to camp. But there's the final score. Richmondshire RUFC 13, Darlington 46. We've had a fantastic day. And like I said, if there's another competition, make sure you enter your club and you can get the cameras and maybe a couple of voices to come down and cover the game. But it's been a fantastic game, fantastic afternoon, really enjoyable. And wish you all the very best.